Welcome back to the garage. I'm back in the UK after my trip away to the Bahamas. It's definitely a lot colder here than it was there. And in this episode, we're going to have a bit of a deep dive into the electrics. Start with the battery and look at how the general concept is for wiring up the Formula Ford. Just a couple of things I want to say before we have a look at the things that I get up to this week. So first of all, up here, these guys, raceparts.co.uk. They're great. They're supporting me on this build. They've got a long list of bits and pieces I need to complete this build, and I'm looking forward to receiving their little goodie parcel in the post over the next few weeks. Secondly is subscribers. 71% of people who watch this video aren't subscribers. It'll really help me out if you subscribe. I'm about 3,000 subscribers now. I'd like to get that up to 5,000. So please think about subscribing and sharing it and liking this video. It does help. Right, let's see what I got up to this week. I got hold of some gold heat shield. So I've cut that to size and put that on the firewall. In the Crosley, it definitely gets hot in the summer and you can feel the heat coming from the back of the engine. So I'm just going to do that just to keep the heat where it wants to be in the engine. So that's one little job I've done, and then let's move on to the front of the car. So the start of the whole electrical system, the key to it all is the battery. So I've got a used battery here, which is knackered and old, which came with the Crosley years ago. So I'm going to use this as a template of where I want to put it. A lot of people put the batteries right at the front of the car, and that's good for weight distribution. But that's not going to work because I don't have anywhere to put it. So I'm going to put it just underneath my legs in front of the seat. I've got this bracket here, which came from, I don't know where it came from. I've got this bracket here, which I'm going to use mark a template out and put the battery in. What I've done is I've cut these standoffs out of aluminium box, which I'm going to put the bracket on top so it fits. So first thing I do is drill some holes in the floor and fit the aluminium standoffs. Okay, so this is just initial fit. The battery's going to fit here and it's completely solid and not going to go anywhere. I've just put a couple of self tappers in to hold it into position initially. So the next thing is to work out how to run the cables. So I'm going to have to drill some holes in the beautiful bodywork and run some cables. So what I've done is cut a hole in the sidewall, put a little bit of silicone tubing on it, and I can run the positive, negative, and also I've got this cable here. Get in focus, get in focus. Yeah, that's a 7-core caravan cable that I'm going to use to run to the back of the car. It's got the switches, ignition stuff, and all the possible electrical power need from the front to the back can go through that. Yep, so that's how it's routed through there. I just needed to make sure that the cables aren't in contact with the aluminium because they'll chafe otherwise. So that is quite a neat little solution. Okay, so the next things to do are, first of all, install a on-off switch. Someone mentioned in the comments not to bother with an on-off switch, but I think that there's comes times when I want to turn the power off the car. Like if there's a red flag and you reform on the grid, you want to stop, turn the engine off. And I can't reach round from the driving position to the kill switch here. So I'm going to put a on-off switch here. And I've got a starter button here as well, which I want to put down here as well. So there's not a lot of room here. It's quite tight up here. On the other side, I've got this, which is a brake bias, which is I've just installed on the brake pedal here, and that just adjusts the bias between forward and backwards on the brakes. And also this big brown cable here, that's a throttle cable which is attached to the throttle there already. So quite a lot of cableage here for a small car. The cable's going to come out this side and run down here in this side pod to the back of the car. Starter motor is going to be here. I've got a rain light on the back. I've got, and that's it. That's it. Oh, rev counter. I need to solve the rev counter issue. Haven't quite come to terms with that yet. So today's job is fitting the dashboard electrics. So I've drilled a pilot hole. This is going to be for the starter switch. So I'll put the starter switch here. On the other side, I'm going to put the ignition on-off switch, so I can flick on one, press the other, and that would, I think, work for me. So I'm thinking about the ergonomics of what's going to be like when I sit in the car, and that's really good because when I built the Crossley, I had no experience racing. Okay, so I've put the on-off switch here, which is the electrical isolation switch, is here. Start switch there, and I'm just going to put a light switch here. So hopefully that's enough. I'm going to blow all the chaff out the way. And I've drilled and cleaned the hole and tried to remove much of the burrs. I've got a deburring tool here, which should take care of that. Yeah, beautiful. These switches are pretty close to each other, but I don't think I've got much real estate, because behind there's the structure of the rollover hoop. It's slightly bigger than it was before. So there we go. So that's two switches in position. So the next electrical component is this, which is the low oil pressure switch light. So I need a light, and I'm going to position it right in my eye line, so it should be super obvious. Beautiful. Now that is good. Okay, so I'm going to work my way logically from this. I'm going to take the power from the battery, go up through the master switch, and then run from there, just like a ring round to make sure that there is power going to all the services I need. I've got the soldering iron out. I want to make sure all the joints are soldered and heat shrunk, just because I will be racing this car in the wet, or the person who ends up with eventually will be racing it in the car in the wet, and the last thing you want is an electrical fault when it's wet. Disaster. So I'm going to start stripping and soldering wire, and start to build the, using an aviation term, the electrical bus system. So let's start soldering. Okay, so what I've done is I've got basically a circuit coming from here. So I'm going to start here, which is the master switch, the power switch. The master switch is going to provide power to the light switch, and that comes across to the warning switch for the oil pressure, and down to the start switch. There's lights available for these, backlighting available for the gauges. I'm not going to be racing at night, so I don't need that. So what I've got now is the cable for the main loom, which is going to run backwards, and I'm just stripping those out and attaching those cables to the appropriate terminals. I'm trying to use a bit of a logic as well. So I'm trying to get the red will go to the starter motor, which I think is a good thing to go. I've just crimped, put a little little connector on there, and that is the first system done. So for the next cable, this is going to be, next wire, this is going to be for the light, for the oil pressure light. So I'm using brown. And I reckon if this comes on, there could be some brown involved somewhere. So that's it, pretty much done. Now for the basic wiring system, just got to tidy everything up. Cable ties are plenty, because that's what cable ties are for tying cables together. So that's it, I'm heading back to work. So have a quick recap what I got up to this week. I've done some things off camera because I've just been getting stuck into it. So at the front, I've fitted the brake calipers, pedal box is all connected up. I've connected this brake bias, which is great and in position. I had to put this brake bias knob there. Electrics is all done, as you saw. Fuel tank, I'm working at getting that in. So that's in position. And I'm going to build a firewall going across, and that's drilled going into the back of the car. So I've been really focused on the front of the car this week, and I think I'll be starting to look at the back of the car in the next few weeks. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Do appreciate everybody's watching. Please let me know if you've got any comments about what I'm doing, because you know what, I'm not an expert. I'm a professional pilot, but an amateur racing driver and a very amateur mechanic. So please give me any hints, tips you see on the way, because that's the main reason I do these, so I can get help from people like you. In the next few weeks, I'm going to start working my way through the systems. I've done the electrics, that's pretty much done. I'm looking at fuel, then hydraulics, brakes and clutch. And then water, the cooling system, and then power plant, which will be the engine. It's just like a type rating course, isn't it? So great, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the garage in at least 2 weeks' time, when I'll release the next video, always on Friday morning. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you next time.